Hi, Mind Detox 2015. 2015 already, isn't that mad? Daily thoughts. So these are my daily thoughts, and so each day there's going to be a little video like this that's just going to share some of my daily thoughts to help you shift tracks into a much more positive life. So the first daily thought, or we're on day one, which is all very exciting. And the first daily thought is a negative mind will never give you a positive life. This one you've probably seen a bazillion times on Facebook, and it's so true. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. And we need to look outside of ourselves. I'm always all about, happiness is an inside job. And I believe that fully. That really is true. But we need to look outside of ourselves for this one. How did our minds get so negative? What is the outside stimulus that we continue to give our minds? What is the things that we give attention to all the time? And when I started on my own journey of positivity, my own journey of like that, I started looking outside myself, and I started looking at the things that I did on a daily basis that were in alignment with negativity. They are, and they're in alignment with negativity because they don't make you feel good. So number one on my hit list was the news. It's awful, isn't it? The whole world is going to hell in a handbasket. You don't watch, nobody watches the news, comes away from there, wants to do a fist pump and goes, yes, I'm so glad I'm alive. You feel rubbish. But if you're giving your attention to something and you're feeling while you're giving that attention to it, you are attracting that in. It's that simple. So if it doesn't feel good, then you are attracting in negativity. It really is that simple. So it was one of the first things that I decided to remove from my life. I just chose to remove my energy from something that I had perceived as a negative stimulus. Next was newspapers. I stopped buying them. I stopped buying into that level of negativity. I no longer wanted to be part of it. I didn't want to have it in my home. Next ones were magazines. I used to buy all these like women's magazines and things, and these girls on these magazines are gorgeous, but they're never right. They're too fat, they're too thin. They're too this, they're too that. They're a fashion disaster. They never get it right. And what I do then while I'm reading that, it doesn't feel good to read that, to read about character assassinations of other women. It's not empowering, it's not uplifting. It is just dragging me down. And I realized that if I truly wanted to have a positive life, I would have to take personal responsibility for my own energy and the energy that I interacted with. So in order to shift tracks for myself, I really began to remove myself from anything that I perceived as negative. That included people and places too. Eek, I know, hard, right? But I can tell you now, especially on the news stuff and in magazines, it's years down the line since I stopped reading them and giving my attention to them. And I can tell you now, I honestly do not miss it. And it certainly has had a profound effect on my life and certainly made my life a lot more positive, that I don't give my attention any longer to things that I perceive as being negative. So I hope you've enjoyed today's thought, which was a negative mind will never give you a positive life. This is the Mind Detox, 14 days of positivity to give negativity the heave-ho. And if you haven't already, please hop on over to joannahunter.com, and I hope you've enjoyed this daily thought.